Okay, guys. So in this session, we are going to discuss four topic. Move to the previous slide. We will be discussing four topic in this session. First is a legal topic, that is anti-defection law, which will come in your legal section, and the other three are current affair topic. Recently, we celebrated the World Water Day. The next is the National Commission for Scheduled Tribe. So recently, a report has been published on the National Commission for Scheduled Tribes, and the most important topic and the last topic is the Padma Award 2022. So recently, the Padma Award 2022 has been given by the President of India. So let's start with the first important topic, that is anti-defection law. It can come in your legal section, or it can come in your current affairs section. So you have to understand from your current affairs section that what is all about it, and you might get question in the form of passages from the legal section. So let's first understand the anti-defection law introduction, guys. Why this anti-defection law comes? As the name itself suggests, anti-defection. So from the in depth from the initial of the our constitution, and then the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and still today we can see that the political leaders, even the political parties, or even some individual leave their party and join another party for the sake of cabinet post, or for money, or for any other thing. So there is a famous line of this defection law, is that the Ayaram Gayaram. What happened in the year 1967? A Congress MLA was there who was from Haryana. So in a day, and in a single day, he switched the party further continuously three times. After a lot of deliberation and after a lot of amendment, and finally a bill was introduced by the Rajiv Gandhi government, and an amendment was made in the year 1985 by the 52nd amendment in the Indian constitution, and a new schedule was added, which is the 10th schedule. So if you take it from the current affair perspective, you have to know that the amendment of anti-defection law is the 52nd amendment. You have the 10th schedule talking about the same. So your new schedule was added in the Indian constitution, 10th schedule, which talked about the anti-defection law in the year 1985 by the 52nd amendment. The sole motive of this anti-defection law, or this amendment, or this schedule in the year 1985, was to address the problem of the member of legislative assembly or the member of parliament changing their political party for the monetary benefit, for the post of cabinet, or for the even for the post of CM or deputy CM, or for any other reason for their self interest. So this anti-defection law was brought by the 52nd amendment, and a new schedule, that is 10th schedule, was introduced in our constitution. Let's move to the next slide and understand the law. So let's first understand the history, because this is important from your current affair perspective. The first, let's understand what is the difference between an amendment bill and amendment act. So we know that under Article 368 of the Indian Constitution, the government, the parliament can amend anything in our constitution except the basic structure of the constitution. So can anyone in the chat box let me know that in which judgment the basic structure of the Indian constitution was defined? Anyone in the chat box can let me. Okay, that is very good. So in the Keshwanand Bharti, we had the basic structure. So except the basic structure, the government or the parliament under Article 368 can amend any part of our constitution. Now there are two different things. There is a difference between amendment bill and amendment act. The anti-defection law has come with amendment act, that is 52nd amendment act. But before the 52nd amendment act, guys, from your current affairs perspective, you have to know that there were two bill, that is amendment bill, that was introduced. The first is the 32nd amendment bill. Let's understand what this 32nd amendment bill tells. So the 32nd amendment bill was on the basis of the Dinesh Goswami committee. This committee you have to remember. Make sure you are, I'm guessing that you are making your notes also. On the recommendation of Dinesh Goswami committee, there were some ground for anti-defection which failed, after which the 32nd amendment was introduced. The 32nd amendment bill, guys, it talks that if any member of the parliament or the state legislative assembly, if he voluntarily give up his membership, okay, if he give up membership and join any other party, for example, tomorrow, you must be knowing Sachin Pilot from Congress Rajasthan. So if tomorrow he along with two-third of his party MLA join BJP, okay, that will be, if he joins two-third with the two-third MLA, if he join BJP, that is not an defection. But if Sachin Pilot individually join tomorrow BJP, there will be an anti-defection law against him. Anti-defection law case will be filed against him again in the house. So if any member of the legislative assembly or the member of the parliament, if he voluntarily give up his membership and join any other political party, or if there is a very important issue going on in the house and the particular party, for example, tomorrow in the Lok Sabha, there is a voting on the Uniform Civil Code. Okay, there is a voting on Uniform Civil Code, and the BJP has issued a whip to every of its MP that you must be present in the Lok Sabha tomorrow, and you have to vote in the support of the Uniform Civil Code. Similarly, the Congress or other opposition party, they will be issuing a whip to their MPs that tomorrow the Uniform Civil Code will be introduced in the Lok Sabha. You have to be present in the Lok Sabha and you have to vote against the bill. Now, guys, if any member is not present, either any of the MP is not present in the Lok Sabha tomorrow, or if they are not voting according to the direction of their political party, whether it is BJP or Congress, that time a case against that particular MP will be registered under Anti-Defection Law. So the 32nd Amendment Bill, this is not the Act. The Act is 52nd Amendment Act. The bill, the 32nd Amendment Bill was brought, and this were the provisions that were discussed in it. But the bill failed because at that particular time, 1973, there was no support, there was no coalition among the no majority among the government. As a result, the bill could not pass from the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and could not become an act. So this is the first thing that you have to remember from current affair perspective. That is 32nd Amendment Bill. Moving to the next slide, guys. Again, another amendment bill was brought. So this is just a image. You don't have to take it into consideration. Next slide. After the 32nd Amendment Bill, another amendment bill was brought, guys. That is the 84th Amendment Bill. So first is the 32nd Amendment Bill in 1973. Now another amendment bill was brought, that is 1978, in which it suggested that if the same provision was there, that if any MP or MLA voluntarily give up the membership, so the same example again, that if Sachin Pilot goes tomorrow and join BJP, anti-defection case will be filed against him, or the same example that we discussed in previous slide, that is the Uniform Civil Code is introduced, BJP has issued whip to its political party that you have to present and support the bill. But if any of the MP of BJP vote against the bill or is not present, an anti-defection law can be issued against it, that MP. The 84th Amendment Bill told that the independent and nominated member, I guess you all know, guys, who are the independent and nominated members. So when you get the election result, you will be seeing that NDA, Congress, JDU, TMC and Anya, that is the others. So they are the independent political parties, independent members, and you have the nominated member who are nominated to the Rajya Sabha. So do we still get nomination in the Lok Sabha? Let me know, yes or no. As of 30th of March 2022, do we still get nomination in the Lok Sabha? The two Anglo-Indians nomination is still present or not? So the 84th Amendment Bill told that, okay, good. The 84th Amendment Bill told that the independent and nominated member will be allowed to join the party at once. So you are contesting, for example, tomorrow Manisha is contesting as an independent MLA. But after the election, when the BJP comes to power, Manisha tells that I will be joining BJP. Or for example, Ambika is fighting independently, but after the result of the election, Congress comes to power. Ambika is telling that I will be joining Congress tomorrow. So the 84th Amendment Bill told that you can join the political party once. If you are doing so, there will be no anti-defection law. So this is the 84th Amendment Bill. Okay, guys. Next slide. Coming to the 52nd Amendment Act. See the difference, guys. There is a difference between bill and act. So 32nd Amendment Bill was introduced in 1973. 84th Amendment Act was introduced in 1978, but both of them could not be passed from the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, did not get the President assent. As a result, the bill failed and did not become an act. Finally, in 1985, the Rajiv Gandhi government, guys, mark this word, the Rajiv Gandhi, under the leadership of Rajiv Gandhi government, an amendment was made in the Indian Constitution known as the 52nd Amendment Act, which means it was passed by the Lok Sabha, it was passed by the Rajya Sabha, it received the President's signature. An amendment was made by the Rajiv Gandhi government by the 52nd Amendment, and a provision, that is 10th schedule. This is very important. The 10th schedule of the Indian Constitution talks about the anti-defection law. So a new schedule was added which stated that all the evil that is going on in the country regarding the political leader, they are undermining the democracy, they are doing ill democracy activity. To combat all this activity, the 52nd Amendment was brought. Next slide. So now let's understand the 52nd Amendment Act. The 52nd Amendment Act tells that any member of either the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, Legislative Assembly, Legislative Council, he will be disqualified first if he willingly resigns from his membership of his political party. So if tomorrow Aviraj is winning from BJP of any of this constituency and tomorrow he goes to the Lok Sabha and then after 2 days he resigns from the Lok Sabha, or as I have given you the example of uniform civil code, that for example, let's take someone else's name. Anshita is a member of Congress party and she did not voted according to the direction of the whip that Congress party has issued to her. That time the Congress party will bring a disqualification against Anshita and she will be disqualified according to the decision of the speaker. So these two things. First is that if a member resigns from his membership of his political party, Aviraj is willingly resigning from BJP and joining Congress the next day, or Anshita did not voted against the whip that was issued by the Congress party, that member will be disqualified. Then the next thing was that a nominated member or independent member, that we discussed just now, who is a nominated member or independent member. If a nominated member or independent member, okay, who is not a member of any political party, this is very sure, the nominated member or the independent member, they are not of any political party. This person cannot become a part of any political party after the expiry of 6 months of the result of the election. So the provision states that a nominated member of a parliament or state legislature who is not a member of a political party at the time of his nomination, or who has not become a member of any political party before the expiry of 6 months from the date of which he takes his seat, that is after the declaration of result, he or she shall be disqualified if he joins any political party after the expiry of the period of 6 months. So this is the most important rule 2 of 10th schedule, guys. The three things that you have to remember. Even the question will come in the legal passage. There is a high probability either in the mock or even in your D-Day examination, you might get a passage on anti-defection law. So these are the three important things that you will be getting question on. The same example that I am giving you just now, in the same facts you will be getting. Now, Rule 4 of the 10th schedule provide an exception to the same thing. Rule 4 states that if any political party merges, if there is a split and merger, that is 2/3. So the first slide I mentioned you that if tomorrow Sachin Pilot in Rajasthan Congress along with him takes 2/3 of the MLA and join BJP, there will be no disqualification. But if Sachin Pilot individually join tomorrow BJP, there will be a disqualification will be issued against him. So this is the rule 4 which talks about the exception to the disqualification. You will be getting a question on Clat examination if it come in the current affair passage, that which rule of the 10th schedule talks about the exception to disqualification, which is your rule 4 of the 10th schedule, which state that if there is a split and merger, there will be no disqualification. So for example, tomorrow you have seen the case, if you remember the case of guys Madhya Pradesh Jyotiraditya Scindia. So anyone in the chat box or unmute, you can let me know that who Jyotiraditya Scindia is which ministry, is having which ministry as of now. So Jyotiraditya Scindia in Madhya
Civil Aviation.
Oh, very good, Aviraj, and I did not know who unmuted. Very good. So Jyotiraditya Scindia in Madhya Pradesh, he did not alone. He along with 2/3 or more MLAs, he took with him and joined BJP, and as a result, there was a change in government. Kamalnath government fell down, and Madhya Pradesh got a new CM, that is Shivraj Singh Chauhan. So this was an exception, that is Rule 4. So this is the whole 52nd Amendment, which talks about the three provisions when you will be disqualified, and then the exception to that provision. Next slide. Now, an amendment was again made in the year 2003, that is the 91st Amendment. So 10th schedule was introduced by the Rajiv Gandhi government in the 52nd Amendment. 91st Amendment Act, that is 2003, an amendment was made, and in which it was added under paragraph 2 of the 10th schedule, that is Rule 2. It was stated that a member of either house of parliament from any political party who has been disqualified, he will be not be allowed to become a minister from that date of disqualification. So from, for example, tomorrow if Sachin Pilot resign, or if Sachin Pilot joins any other political party and joins BJP tomorrow, then from 31st of March he will not be allowed. He will not be allowed to become a minister from that day of his disqualification and the ending on the date on which his term of office would expire as a member of the House. In that duration, he will not become a minister. This is very important amendment which was made by the 91st Amendment Act 2003. So we had first through two amendment bill, that was the two amendment bill in the year 1973-78, and then we have the 52nd Amendment Act which introduced the 10th schedule, and finally we had the 91st Amendment Act of 2003, guys. I hope it is clear to everyone, those who are present in the class. Let me know in the chat box, and let's move to the next slide. Now let's have some example. This is something interesting. You just have to know that when can a defection happen. For example, if you're getting any question in the legal section, so after reading all this example, it would be easy for you to determine that whether defection will happen or not in that particular case. First is the very famous case of Sharad Pawar, guys. So Sharad Pawar, he was elected in 1967 on the ticket of Congress. After which to become the opposition leader, he left Congress party and joined the Janata Party. Then again he joined the Rajiv Gandhi government in 1987 and became the chief minister of Maharashtra. He remained in Congress for a short duration, but after which he was expecting that he will become the president of India. When Congress did not made him the president candidate and Pranab Mukherjee was made the Congress amendment, I will be taking it. Don't worry, Ambika. So when Congress did not give his name as the president, okay, then he left the Congress party and in 1999 and founded his own separate party, that is Nationalist Congress Party. So you can see from 1967 to 1999 how many times the defection was done by our honorable Sharad Pawar ji, who is now ruling Maharashtra. Second is the Yogendra Yadav. So you remember 2015 time when there was a lot of corruption issues and all going on in the country. 2012-15, Anna Hazare and everyone. 2012, Anna Hazare and our present Chief Minister of Delhi, that is Arvind Kejriwal, now forming government in Punjab also with a big majority. So one of was your Yogendra Yadav. Yogendra Yadav was a founding member of Aam Aadmi Party, guys. But because of his activities that he was doing in the party, Aam Aadmi Party feel that he is doing something against our party. He was not working according to the direction, according to the whips. So he was expelled from the party, and then in 2015, after being expelled, he founded his own party, that is Swaraj Abhiyan, not a party, it's type of NGO mostly. So he founded the Swaraj Abhiyan and is working on that. So these are two examples. Third is our only chief minister, woman chief minister of our country, that is Sri Mamata Banerjee. So Mamata Banerjee started her career from the National Congress, and then in 1984 she became an MLA in Bengal. Then she left Congress in 1997 and then joined and formed his own party. After which she joined BJP in 2000 and 1999 time during the Atal Bihari Vajpayee time, and at that time she became the railway minister under the NDA government. After which in 2001, okay, she formed a coalition with the Congress party. Again in 2004 she rejoined NDA, and again in 2009 she rejoined UPA, that is the Congress front. So you can see the number of defections that she had done. And then the famous you have today Shiv Sena and Bal Thackeray and Raj Thackeray. So Raj Thackeray is the founder of MNS party. Why Raj Thackeray founded his own party, guys? Because of his revolt against his father Bal Thackeray, and not father, he was his uncle and mentor. Because Uddhav Thackeray was given the all the benefit of the party Shiv Sena, and so he resigned from there and founded his own party. So these are some example and famous incidents of defection that has happened in our country, guys. Let's move to the next slide and understand two important judgment on this. This is important from both your legal perspective and Clat perspective. This Kyoto Holohan versus Jhajilwa judgment is a landmark judgment on anti-defection law, which from your Clat time you will be studying in your NLUs or any of the law college, whichever you will be getting. So in your third semester, fourth semester, when you will be having your constitution, you will be reading this case law. This is a very important and landmark judgment on anti-defection law, Kyoto Holohan versus Jhajilwa, in which Supreme Court stated that the anti-defection law is a constitutionality. It is a correct law, but Supreme Court stated that the power or the decision of the speaker to determine the disqualification is under judicial review, guys. Which means that before this judgment, the decision that the speaker gave. So, for example, tomorrow we have a speaker as Atul, and he is the speaker of the Lok Sabha, and he gave the decision that Aviraj is disqualified because he did not voted according to the direction of his party. Okay. So before the Kyoto Holohan case, the decision of Atul will not be challenged, cannot be challenged in the Supreme Court or any court. But after the Kyoto Holohan versus Jhajila case, Supreme Court held that although the anti-defection law is constitutionally valid, but the decision of Atul, that is the speaker, will be brought under the judicial review. So the Supreme Court or the court will take into consideration whether the decision that was given by Atul or the speaker is correct or not. So this is a very famous and landmark judgment that you guys have to know till your end of your career as a law. Whether you are a law student, law aspirant, as a lawyer, or as a judge, you have to know this judgment, which is very important judgment. And then again in Rajendra Singh Rana versus Swami Prasad Maurya, this is a case in which Supreme Court questioned the power of the speaker, because Supreme Court and even various committee, we will be discussing in the next slide, various committee has recommended that this the power that is given to the speaker, guys, you must know that before he become the speaker, for example, today Atul is elected as a speaker of Lok Sabha, but till 29th of March he was the member of BJP. So the moment you are assuming the charge of speaker, how you will become an independent person? You will definitely there will be a contact between you and BJP or any political party who is in power. So in the case of Rajendra Singh Rana versus Swami Prasad Maurya 2007, Supreme Court questioned the impartiality of speaker on the case of disqualification, that definitely the speaker can misuse the power, and so it is important that the judicial review has to be done, guys. These are two important judgments that you should remember. First one is very important. Moving to the next slide, guys. This is the criticism that is given. You don't have to read, just you have to understand for your knowledge and your legal passages. You can get that what is the criticism. You will be getting one or two question on this also in your legal passages, that the speaker who till 29, for example Atul till 29 was a member of Congress, okay, and today he become the speaker. So it is not that he will become an impartial speaker. Okay, there might be a chances of partiality, and it happened. We see today and from the last years we are watching that the speaker is not that the post of the speaker is not an impartial post. He definitely shows partiality while disqualifying the member. So this is the criticism which talks about the good power that is given to the speaker. Okay, the concern with respect to the impartiality of the decision of the speaker, as he was a member of the political party which is a majority party, any of the political party, definitely. So this is the criticism. Next slide. Now we have three committee report that is also important for your Clat perspective. First is the Dinesh Goswami committee. The Dinesh Goswami committee, guys, suggested that instead the speaker, it should be the president or the governor who should have the power to decide on the disqualification of any member on the advice of the election commission. So it will be the election commission which will give advice, and the president or the governor will be deciding that whether a particular member has been disqualified or not, and not the speaker will be deciding. This is the recommendation of the Dinesh Goswami committee. You have the Law Commission 170th report. The Law Commission suggested that the exemption that you have given under Rule 4, that if there 2/3 of the member join any other political party in case of split and merger, there will be no disqualification. The Law Commission 170 report suggested that this should be removed. Even if you're going with 2/3 party, you will be getting cabinet post, you will be getting monetary benefits. So the objective with which the 52nd amendment was brought does not get over. Okay. Now, another thing that Law Commission report suggested, that whips should be issued in exceptional circumstances when the government feel that there is a need, not in every circumstances. Now, from the last 2 years, we must have been noticing that the opposition are issuing whip on every matter. On every matter, whip is issued by the opposition party. So the Law Commission report suggested that the whip should be issued only in exceptional circumstances, and they suggested that the split and merger thing should be removed. Then you have the Jeevan Reddy committee. It also told the same thing, that the split and merger should be removed. And okay, Anshita, I'm telling you. And the whip should be issued only when the government feel that it is dangerous and not a local basis. So Anshita, whip here is that, as we discussed in the second slide, that for example, again I'm giving the same example, that for example tomorrow the present NDA government brings the uniform civil code in the Lok Sabha tomorrow on 31st of March. Okay, 31st of March, the NDA government brings the Uniform Civil Code bill, and the NDA government issue a whip. Whip is where they will be directing all the MPs of BJP that, sir, tomorrow the Uniform Civil Code is being brought. Tomorrow only it will be voted on the bill. So you all have to present and you have to vote in favor of the bill. Similarly, Anshita, the opposition, Congress, RJD, TMC, and all other opposition, Shiv Sena, and whatever it is, they will be issuing the whip to their MPs or MLA, if it is the case of state legislative assembly, that, sir, tomorrow the Uniform Civil Code is being brought in the Lok Sabha. They will be voting tomorrow only. You have to present and vote against the bill. Now, for example, Aviraj is a member of Congress and he voted in support of the bill. Congress has issued a whip that you have to vote against the bill. Aviraj is a member of Congress, voted in support of the bill. Disqualification will be started against him. Processes will start against him. This is whip. Is it clear, Anshita? So these are the three committee on anti-defection law. You have to remember Dinesh Goswami committee, Law Commission report, and Jeevan Reddy committee. These are the three committee, guys. Good. So this is next slide. I guess it's done. Previous slide. So this is all about the anti-defection law. It is important for your legal passage, for your current affair passage, guys. You have to know when it was brought, before amendment, new amendment, final amendment, what it talk about, what is the exception, what are the different committees, and what is the criticism. That is the wide power given to the speaker. Okay, guys, everyone is clear? Let me know in the chat box. Then we can start with the next topic, that is World Water Day. Next slide. First, let me know everyone is clear. The question that was Anshita, your question, I will be taking, don't worry, that question. Okay, so it's everyone clear, anti-defection law. Now come to the another topic, that is World Water Day, guys. You must be thinking that this is not an important topic, but seeing the pattern of Clat in Clat 2021, guys, I say that World Water Day is an important topic for you all. Okay, what question were asked in Clat 2021? It is a very important topic, World Water Day. So let's understand the World Water Day. Every year on 22nd of March, to highlight the importance of water, the day is celebrated. And then you have to know the theme of this year, that is groundwater, making the invisible visible. So guys, you are whether from Rajasthan, whether you are from Jharkhand, or whether you are from any state of India, guys, you know what is the scarcity of water that is going on in India, and what is the value of groundwater. The present government and the previous government have from 2012 have now started to focus a lot on groundwater, guys, because of lot of scarcity of water in our country. So the theme itself suggests the need of the groundwater, that is groundwater making the invisible visible. Okay, now one question that you can also get from this slide is that what is new in this year, that is 22nd March 2022. On this occasion, the World Water Day, United Nations University, it published an assessment report which talks about the scarcity and the what all level of water is present in Africa. This is very important. Every Clat aspirant, 50,000 Clat aspirant knows that the World Water Day is celebrated on 22nd of March. Every Clat aspirant knows the theme of World Water Day 2022. But the second point is very important. In this year, the World Water Day, that United Nations University Canadian-based institute, it published a report which talks about the water scarcity, what is done for the security of water, and the level of water in Africa. Next slide. Now let's understand what is the World Water Day. So the World Water Day was started in the year 1999, in which a resolution was adopted in the meeting that was held in Rio de Janeiro. These are all very important points for your Clat perspective, current affair perspective, guys. In 1992, United Nations meeting was held in Rio de Janeiro, in which after which the United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution that every year 1992 will be celebrated as World Water Day on 22nd of March. 1992 the meeting was held, and from 1993 we started to observe. These are two different things, guys. You will be getting a conflicting question. Don't get wrong in your Clat examination or even in your mock. That the idea goes back to 1992 when United Nations Environment meeting was held. But we started celebrate World Water Day from 1993 after the United Nations General Assembly adopted that on 22nd of March we'll be having the World Water Day every year. Okay, so the we have already done with the theme of the groundwater, making the invisible visible. It is very important. World Water Day is celebrated to achieve the Sustainable Development Goal. Let me know in the chat box or by unmuting yourself how many total Sustainable Development Goal we have. Very good, Mahima. You are too quick to grasp what I will be asking. And what is the target here? So the World Water Day is celebrated to achieve the Sustainable Development Goal target, that is 6 by 2030, which talks about water and sanitation for all by 2030. What is the target here, guys, of the Sustainable Development Goal? So yeah, very good. So the World Water Day is in consonance with the Sustainable Development Goal 6, which talks about water and sanitation for all by 2030. Okay, this is all about what is important in this slide. Now let's move to the next slide. Now just know a little bit, know significance of this World Water Day, guys, because 70% of our earth is covered by water, but still only fresh water is 3%, out of which most of it, which is 2/3, is frozen, so we cannot use it. Therefore it is very important to taking into consideration the scarcity of water, the problem of water, the loss of water. It is very important to take steps. The government has to take lot of steps, and it is important for the celebration of World Water Day, because your water is a factor that will decide your poverty. The number of people below poverty line will be decided by your water. One of the criteria is water. Your economic growth is decided by water. How much your environment is good, how much sustainability is there in your environment, that will be decided by your level of water. How many people are living without water in Rajasthan, that will decide the poverty line. So it is very important to you celebrate this day. And not only you can get a question from 2022. You have World Water Day on 22nd of March, or day which is related to the same. So you must be thinking that ये दोनों दिन क्यों यहाँ डाल दिया. This is not unrelated. Earth Day and Water Day are related. So 22, that is 22nd of April, is Earth Day. World Biodiversity Day is also something that is related to scarcity of water and the water and atmosphere environment. So it is 22nd of May. So these two dates are also important for you to remember for your current affair perspective. That World Water Day is related to Earth Day. Earth Day is 22nd of April. World Biodiversity Day 22nd of March, and it is very easy to remember, guys. You can see the sequence. So next slide. So definitely move 2 slides before Kanishk. This, no, next slide. Yeah, this slide. This slide, Aviraj, you are asking about. So this slide is also important. You have to know that when the World Water Day was started, in which year we started to recognize it, and when was the finally it was decided. The Sustainable Development Goal 6 you have to important, and the theme is important from this slide. Okay, now, so this is all you have to know from the World Water Day. When was it started, theme, what is important, and other date, and the United Nations resolution. That is all about World Water Day. Moving to the next topic, guys. This is another very important topic that is in news. That is the National Commission for Scheduled Tribe. I will be sending the PPT if you want. DM to any of us, either to me or Kanish. We will be sending you the PPT. Don't worry. Coming to the National Commission for Scheduled Tribe, guys. So another very important topic that is in news in the month of March. Recently, while the session of the House is going on, can anybody tell me in the chat box, in a year the House have how many sessions? The Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have a total of how many sessions? And what are they? 4 sessions I have got. What are the sessions? 3. Okay, 3. So what are the name of the session? Okay, if there are 3, what are those? Budget, monsoon, winter. Summer, winter, monsoon, summer, winter, budget session, and then you have the winter monsoon. Very good, guys. Good. So in the recent session that was going on, in which the parliamentary committee has submitted its report, and it has stated that the National Commission for Scheduled Tribe has been dysfunctional from the last 4 years and has not delivered a single report to the parliament. So first function is coming from here, that the National Commission for Scheduled Tribe has to submit a report to the parliament. This is one of the function. But why it is a news? Because it is not providing, it is neither it is meeting, it is not providing any report, not submitting any report to the parliament or the president. So next slide. This is the why the again this topic has come in news. Now, let's understand what is the National Commission for Scheduled Tribe. This is important. From this slide, you will be getting question. Article 338. First, understand, guys, what is Article 338? Article 338 tells that the president and the government will work for the benefit of the scheduled tribes. In India, we have scheduled castes, scheduled tribes. Article 330 states that the president and the government, the parliament, will be making such laws, such schemes which are beneficial for the scheduled tribes. So on 19th of February 2004, the National Commission of Scheduled Tribe was set up after a new article, that is 338A, was introduced in the Constitution by the 89th Constitution Amendment Act. So in 3 lines, you have more than 5 questions, guys. So you will not be getting each of this question individually. You will be getting in a comprehensive manner. Which of the following is false about National Commission for Scheduled Tribe? Which of the following is true about National Commission for Scheduled Tribe? What you have to remember, National Commission for Scheduled Tribes set up on 19 February 2004. We amended Article 338. A new Article 338 clause A was inserted in the Constitution. By which amendment? 89th Amendment Act 2003. And because, guys, the National Commission of Scheduled Tribe have a separate article, it is a constitutional body. This point, guys. How? Constitutional body. Whether can anyone tell me that whether the Election Commission of India is a constitutional body or not? Election Commission of India. Whether Election Commission, okay, Vedika. You have told yes. So the Election Commission, very good, Vedika. Yeah, that only I was thinking that you should give this article. 324 of the Indian Constitution talks that there shall be an Election Commission in India, which makes it a constitutional body. But the Niti Aayog is not a constitutional body. It is a think tank of our country, guys. So, by the 89th Constitution Amendment, the new Article 338 was inserted for the National Commission for the Scheduled Tribe to oversee and safeguard the scheduled tribes in our country, to make laws for them and to evaluate that what the government is doing for the scheduled tribes people. This was the function. The composition is very important, which tells that there will be a chairperson, there will be a vice chairperson, there will be 3 members who will be appointed by the warrant, who will be appointed by the president under his warrant, under his hand and seal. Guys, now here another question arises, that is the president bound to take into consideration the advice given by the Council of Ministers? Let me know in the chat box. So if tomorrow, for example, very good. So if for tomorrow, for example, the present government suggests name of 3 members for the National Commission for Scheduled Tribe, yeah, the president is bound under Article 74 of the Indian Constitution. You don't have to remember now. That is just for your knowledge. So the composition, the National Commission for Scheduled Tribe consists of a chairperson, vice chairperson. There will be 3 other members who will be appointed by the president. There will be option appointed by the governor, there will be option appointed by the Council of Ministers, there will be a option appointed by the Prime Minister. Guys, you have to select president, only president. You don't select Council of Ministers. Now, another important thing in the composition is this, that 1 member of this National Commission for Scheduled Tribes should be a woman. The tenure of the chairperson, vice chairperson, other member will be 3 years and not more than 2 terms. So 3, 3, 6. After 6 years, once, for example, don't take it in another way, I am telling it before. For example, tomorrow Aviraj is appointed as the chairperson or vice chairperson of the National Commission for Scheduled Tribe. He completes 6-year tenure, after which he cannot be appointed. There is a difference between appointment and elected. Appointment is done by person on the post of president, governor. Elected is when you get the vote of someone. So after 2 tenure, that is 3 plus 3. So if Aviraj completed tenure of 6 years tomorrow, then he will not be eligible to get re-elected again. Very important point that you will be getting in your current affair question is the chairperson is given the rank of Union Cabinet Minister, the vice chairman is the rank of Minister of State, and other member are the secretary level. So if you are getting a question, which of the following is true about the composition of the National Commission for Scheduled Tribe? you are having chairperson, vice chairperson, three other members, their tenure, there should be a woman, they are not be eligible to appointed after 2 term. Another important point is the chairperson is given the rank of union cabinet minister, the vice chairperson is the rank of minister of state, and the other member are the secretary to the government of India. This is the whole composition of the National Commission for Scheduled Tribe, guys. Next slide. Now let's understand, just you have to for your knowledge, so just for the sake of knowledge, what are the duties and function of the National Commission for Scheduled Tribe. Just I have told you to safeguard the scheduled tribe under our constitution, to check, you don't have to write it, just listen to this, to check whether the government is working for the scheduled tribes, whether the schemes that was brought by the government, whether they are active or not, what all benefit the scheduled tribes are getting, what all more thing need to be done. They will give recommendation to the government, they submit a report to the parliament and the president that this all has been done, whether they were deprived of their right, what all ill thing, who were the whether any scheduled tribes were the victim during the after the Bengal election. We had a very horrible incident, so whether at that time the scheduled tribes people were victim or not, that will be a report which will be submitted by the National Commission of Scheduled Tribe. Or when there were the citizenship amendment bill protest was going on, or any of the issue in which there is a danga, you can say, then the National Commission for Scheduled Tribe will visit that place and check the number and the victim of the ST people. So this is the function. You don't have to remember. This is just for the knowledge and sake for knowledge. Next slide. Well, this is just an image of the National Commission for Scheduled Tribes. Next. Now, what are the issues for the why we are discussing this topic? Because in the financial year 2021-2022, it has made only 4 times, and that also around 50% of the work all the commission is pending. There is the commission is not working properly. There are monetary problem, there is budgetary problem, there is manpower problem. The recruitment is not going perfectly. Guys, don't think that this is not important for Clat. You will be getting the question that why the National Commission is not why the National Commission why the parliamentary report that was published in the month of March 2022 stated that the NCST is not working properly. You will be having these options because now Clat is very comprehensive. You will not be getting that 1994 में form हुआ था directly. You will be getting that also in comprehensive manner. So budgetary allocation is not good, manpower is not good, eligibility criteria has been changed, there is lot of pendency of work. These are the issues that the National Commission for Scheduled Tribe is facing, and so the panel, the parliamentary panel that we discussed in the first slide, it has suggested that the manpower has to be increased, allocation has to be there, all the vacancies has to be filled, okay, and whatever budget they need, it has to be provided. Next slide. Let's understand the status of scheduled tribes in our country. So nowhere in the Indian constitution it is mentioned scheduled tribes specifically, the definition of scheduled tribes. According to the 1931 census, we had the backward tribes, after which in 1935 the Government of India Act first time used the backward tribes in the assembly, and then after which we had Article 342 which talks about the scheduled tribe. So definition of scheduled tribe is not given in the constitution. That what is scheduled tribe, that is not given in the constitution. Who constitutes scheduled tribe, that is not given in the constitution. But 342 states that the president, after consultation with the governor, specify that which particular tribe is a scheduled tribe, which community is a scheduled tribe of that particular state or union territory. Let me know in the chat box whether a union territory has a governor or not. If not, then who is there? So Article 342 is very important, guys, for your for question. That Article 342, very good. LG, yeah. So Article 342 states that the president, after consulting with the governor or the lieutenant governor, will specify that whether a particular tribe or whether a particular community is a scheduled tribe or not. This is only thing, but nowhere it is defined in the constitution, the definition of scheduled tribes. Next slide. I guess it is done for this topic. Okay, no. Previous slides. Yeah, there are some legal provisions that you have to remember, guys, because there are only 4 legal provisions. So you will be getting a direct question that which of the following is not a legal provision related to for the scheduled tribe. Just remember the name, nothing more than that. The first and the very famous is the SC/ST Act 1989. That is the famous. Lots of cases are registered every day in our country. They were issued in 2017-18 when there was a conflict of interest between the executive and the judiciary. So the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribe Prevention of Atrocities Act 1989. You have the Protection of Civil Right Act against Untouchability. You have the provision of the Panchayat Act 1996. You have the Scheduled Tribe and Other Forest Development Recognition of Forest Act 2006. So there are only 4 acts. The thing is that why it is important, guys. There are only 4 acts for them, specifically dealing with scheduled tribes. So you have to remember the name. You will be directly asked which of the following is not the legal provision or the act which deal with the scheduled tribe. And then you have the related initiative. There are various. You have the Pradhan Mantri Vandhan Yojana. Then for the market of the scheduled tribe, you have TriFed. This is a very famous thing. TriFed. If you have given Clat 2021, if you have prepared for it, you must have read it. It was an important topic during Clat 2021. So for the market development of the scheduled tribe to promote business among them to sell their product, we have the initiative of TriFed. You don't have to remember the initiatives. You have Pradhan Mantri Vandhan Yojana, development of the particularly vulnerable tribal group. As of now, how many particularly vulnerable tribal group are there in the country? Anyone? Then the digital transformation of the tribal school. So we have a lot of tribal school in our country. So the digital transformation of the tribal school is there. Anyone, guys? How many particularly vulnerable tribal group? इतने देर में Google कर लेता मैं. So these are the initiatives, these are the legal provisions. This is all about the topic. It is important topic, guys, because it is a constitutional body. There are 75 particularly vulnerable tribal group. If you don't know, guys, mention in your notebook. It is important question. Okay, there are 75 particularly vulnerable tribal group in our country as of now, 30 of March 2022. So you have to know the constitutional provision of the National Commission for Scheduled Tribe, the issues, the composition, the tenure, what is the total tenure that they can apply, what is the rank, and the legal provision which talks about it. Is it clear to everyone, guys? Let me know in the chat box. Then we will start with a very common topic, that is Padma Award 2022. Very good. So it's clear to everyone. Let's start with the Padma Award 2022. So the Padma Award is one of the highest civilian award after the, which is the highest award of our country, guys. One more thing you can write. You have to write in the chat box. Very good. वो Bharat Ratna है. Your typing speed is very good, I must say. So after Bharat Ratna, the one of the highest civilian award. Don't take it that it is the highest civilian award. It is one of the highest civilian award. After Bharat Ratna, we have the Padma Award, where the highest is Padma Vibhushan, second is Padma Bhushan, and third is Padma Shri. These are the 3 important awards that we are going to discuss, which are given to the person who excel in the field of social work, law, sports, civil service, literature, medicine, in anything. So if tomorrow you do very good in your law field, you become Harish Shalve, you will be getting most probably Padma Shri. If you become Neeraj Chopra, you will be getting Padma Shri. So in any of the field, if you are doing extraordinarily good, you will be getting the service. So Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan, and Padma Shri is given for exceptional and distinguished service that the people of India are doing. So this is the first slide. Next slide. Let's understand the history of Padma Award, guys. Keep on making notes. Notes are very important at the time of revision. Let's understand the history of Padma Award. The Padma Award was started in the year 1954. That time we had the government of the president was Rajendra Prasad. So every year on the eve of Republic Day, in the event of Republic Day, the Padma Award are awarded, and in 1954 it was added. But you cannot use Padma Award as your suffix or prefix to your name, guys. Let me know which article of the Indian Constitution talks about abolition of title. You are all very good, Anshita Mahima. Yeah, very good. Article 18 of the Indian Constitution talks about, so you all are getting NLU, Bangalore or Hyderabad this time, I must say. So Article 18 of the Indian Constitution talks about there will be no title. So you cannot use Padma Shri Neeraj Chopra, Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan Kalyan Singh, or Padma Vibhushan let General Bipin Rawat. You cannot use that. Okay. So it was instituted in 1954. It is awarded on the Republic Day, and it cannot be used as a suffix or prefix to your name. So the award is a medallion which is signed by the president, and it is given to the people, to all our dignitaries. And the name of this comes on the gadget notification of our country. Now, very important point. The total number of award to be given in a year should not be more than 120. So 120 is the maximum number of Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan and Padma Shri that the government of India can give, not including posthumous or foreigner. What is posthumous, guys? Posthumous is the person who has died. After the death, you are giving him the award. So let me know the famous personality who has received award after his death this year. And another is the foreigner, NRIs or OCI. So 120 is the maximum, except not including the posthumous or foreigner. Guys, who is the famous dignitary who has received that after his death the award? Very good, Ambika. General Late Sri Bipin Rawat ji has received the award. So the total number is 120. This is very important question, and it does not include posthumous. Posthumous means those persons who have died, and foreigner, NRI. Now this, yeah, Virat. Now this this Padma award is decided by a committee. There is a committee which consists of the cabinet secretary, secretary to the president, and various other distinguished individuals who make the proposal of the award and table it to the president and prime minister for their consent. After the president and prime minister agrees that this proposal is okay, whose name should be added, whose name should be excluded, after which the award is finally given. So this is very important. We have a Padma award committee consisting of cabinet secretary, secretary to the president, home secretary, and 4 to 6 distinguished individual members who make a proposal and submit it to the president and prime minister for their consent, after which finally the award is celebrated, after which the award is given. So this is all thing from this slide. Next slide. Now let's understand the Padma Award 2022. So as we have already discussed, the Padma Award is given on the Republic Day, awarded on the Republic Day. Okay. In this year, we have given a total of 128 Padma Award. Now you will be telling, sir, 120 to maximum limit tha. This include your posthumous and NRI, in which 10% are foreigners and 13 are posthumous. Guys, don't take it easy. Don't take it lightly. These are very important point if the question comes from Padma Award. Each and every point that is mentioned in the slide. Total of 128. 4 is Padma Vibhushan, 17 is Padma Bhushan, and 107 is Padma Shri. Out of which 34 awardees are women, 10 is foreigner, and 13 is posthumous. Those who have received the award after they have death, you have to compare it with 2021 data also you have to know, in which 119 total award was given, in which 7 Padma Vibhushan, 10 Padma Bhushan, and 102 Padma Shri was given. Guys, this data is very important to remember, both point that is mentioned in the slide, that a total of 128. We have 2 duo case also here. 4 Padma Vibhushan, 17 Padma Bhushan, 107 Padma Shri, 34 women, point is very important, 10 foreigner, very important, 13 posthumous, very important point. Next slide. So let's talk about this slide. We have 4 in Padma Vibhushan list, that is Prabha Atre, Honorable Prabha Atre for the art, Honorable Radheshyam Khemka, who has received posthumously for the literature and education, Honorable and Let Sri General Bipin Rawat ji for the civil service, and Honorable and Let Sri Kalyan Singh ji for the public affairs. This 4 guys name, mug it up. The 2 are very easy. The General Bipin Rawat ji and Kalyan Singh ji is very easy name. The other 2 is not a very known personality, but you have to know now because they have become a known personality. Guys, the picture. Let me know the age of the person and the name of the person and the award that he has received. Let me know that how much you are preparing for your Clat examination. Even if you do not know, I am not going to tell you now. You have to search it and add it to your notes. What my work was to, previous slide. My work was to let you know the 4 Padma Vibhushan awardee, that is Prabha Atre, Radheshyam Khemka ji, General Bipin Rawat ji, Kalyan Singh ji. These 3 are posthumous and they have received for art, literature, civil service, public year. You have to search who is this, what is the age of this person, which award he has received, whether Padma Vibhushan, whether Padma Shri or Padma Bhushan, and what award he has received, for what he has received, and what is the age and what is the name. I am not going to let you know, search it. Next slide. Now let's understand Padma Vibhushan. So after the Bharat Ratna, the highest, second highest civilian award of our country is the Padma Vibhushan, which was instituted, very good Aviraj, That is the correct answer. Huh, yeah, Mika, you are also correct. So, on 2nd January 1954, the Padma Vibhushan was awarded for the exceptional distinguished service in our country. So, this is the second highest civilian award after Bharat Ratna. Thus, important 2 points. The second point is very important, guys, that when it was started on 2nd of January 1954, that time we had Pehla Varg, Dusra Varg, Tisra Varg. After 1955, we had the Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan and Padma Shri. This is very important. First, we had Pehla Varg, Dusra Varg and Tisra Varg, that is class 1, class 2, class 3. After 15th of January 1955, we had to reclassified it and we have Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan and Padma Vibhushan. The first recipient is also very important if you are getting a question from this either in your mock or in the Clat examination. The first recipient you have to mug it up: Satyendra Nath Bose, Nandlal Bose, Zakir Hussain, Bala Saheb Kher, V.K. Krishna Menon, and then you have the Wangchu. They all were awarded for the first time in 1954. You will be getting this are the first recipient of the Padma Vibhushan. Which of the following is true or false? So this is for important question. So Padma Vibhushan, second highest civilian award. First we have in 1954 Pehla Varg, Dusra Varg, Tisra Varg, which was reclassified into Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan and Padma Vibhushan. And the first recipient names you have to remember, guys. It is very important. Next slide, we will be talking about the Padma Bhushan. So the Padma Bhushan is the third highest civilian award, guys. Don't think what I am mentioning is not of importance. You have to know that the Padma Vibhushan is the second highest, Padma Bhushan is the third highest. So the third highest civilian award in the Republic of India is the Padma Bhushan, which was also instituted on 2nd February, and in the year 1954, total of 23 award. So you don't have to remember the name, and definitely no one, even the Clat consortium, not me, not you, can remember the name of 23 first recipients. So you have to remember the number. So in 1954, a total of 23 awardees was given Padma Vibhushan after its inception. Next slide, we will be discussing the Padma Shri. So the Padma Shri is the fourth highest civilian award of the country after Bharat Ratna, Padma Vibhushan and Padma Bhushan. So it was also instituted in 1954, and the first time 17 recipients received the Padma Shri. So here also you don't have to remember the name of all the 17 recipients. You will not be asked, definitely be assured from my side. You only have to remember that there are 17 recipients who have received Padma Shri in 1954 after its inception. It is the fourth highest civilian award after that is Bharat Ratna, Padma Vibhushan and Padma Bhushan, guys. Next slide. Now, important to understand the Bharat Ratna. So, the Bharat Ratna is the jewel of our country, guys, which is the highest civilian award which is given to the exceptional service in the field of science, literature, public service, or anything. The award can be granted posthumously. And since its inception till 2022, 7 posthumous Bharat Ratna has been awarded in our country, guys. This is important. So, this Bharat Ratna was also instituted by our president, former president and late president, that is Rajendra Prasad ji, on 2nd January 1954. Till 1954, the concept of awarding means there was no concept that it will be awarding posthumously, but after slowly in 1966 there was addition and it was told that the posthumous award will be given also. So up to date, that is 30th of March 2022, we have a total of 7 posthumous awards, and the first recipient, guys, Sri Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan ji, Sri Sir C.V. Raman ji, and we have Raghav Chupalli Chari sir in 1954. These are the first 3 recipients of the Bharat Ratna, which was instituted in 1954 by our president Rajendra Prasad ji. And the first sport person and the youngest Bharat Ratna awardee is your famous and everyone famous of India, that is Sachin Tendulkar, favorite person of everyone. And a very respectable person is the first sport person, and the youngest Bharat Ratna recipient of our India is Sachin Tendulkar sir. So this is the history. Bharat Ratna is the highest civilian award. When it was instituted, who is the first recipient, whether it was given posthumously since its inception or after 1966. Total number of posthumous, the first sports person and the youngest is Sachin Tendulkar sir. And let's come to the next slide. This is Bharat Ratna, no need to see. That was the image of Bharat Ratna. The award of the Bharat Ratna is in bronze. You are having the people tree leaf, and the Bharat Ratna is engraved under it. Okay, there is the sun photo is also there in the center, and this is something about the award. Don't need to remember all this thing. Only thing you have to remember that the Satyameva Jayate is inscribed in Devanagari spirit. This question you can guys, that which of the following is true. That the on the back side with the emblem Satyameva Jayate in the Bharat Ratna award is inscribed in Devanagari spirit script, which is very important question. And you have to know as a law student, as an Indian citizen, not as a law student, law aspirant. That is afterward. You are first an Indian. You should know, guys, that Satyameva Jayate is written in our Bharat Ratna, that also in Devanagari script. Next slide. Now the last slide talks about that this year, that is 2022, we did not have any Bharat Ratna recipient. We had only last Bharat Ratna was given in 2019 to Pranab Mukherjee, Nanaji Deshmukh and Bhupen Hazarika. Pranab Mukherjee, our president, and Nanaji Deshmukh and Bhupen Hazarika for art and music. This is also very important because from after 2019, no Bharat Ratna has been awarded, not even in 2022. Previous slide. So you have to remember that we have Pranab Mukherjee, Nanaji Deshmukh, and Bhupen Hazarika who are the last recipient. This all thing you have to know from Padma Award when it was instituted, recipient of 2022. You have to remember the name of the four, that 125-year age person that Aviraj has mentioned in the chat box. Then about the formation of the Padma Award, about the Bharat Ratna, who received the first, who are the first recipient. If it is Padma Vibhushan, the name. It is Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, it will be the number, and then the Bharat Ratna. That's all from my side, guys. If you have any doubt, please let me know.